guys, today I am filming the next update in my chopping block series for 2018. If you guys have not seen any of my other videos in this series, I'll have my playlist linked up in the cards. And basically at the beginning of the year, I chose a select group of products that I wanted to test and come to a final decision whether I wanted to keep them or declutter them. Also in these videos, I will share with you any other items I chose to declutter, any products I returned, and anything I had to throw out because it has gone bad. I also filmed this series in 2017. I'll have that linked in the cards as well, just in case you're wanting to see more of these videos and I don't ever repeat products. In my intro, I show you the select group of products, but in these updates, I only show you the things that I've focused on trying out over those past 2 months, and then I am going to have a finale at the very end of December, and I'll give you my total numbers of everything that I kept, decluttered, and returned and threw out. So I'm going to jump right in with the makeup products. There are only 3 things that I am choosing to keep, and these are all things that I'm going to need to reevaluate. So the first thing is a little mini ColourPop Ultra Matte Lip in the shade Beeper, and this is a nice light tanny color. On me, it does look more of like a cool tone gray mauve color. I did wear this in an empties video. I'll have that linked up in the cards because I didn't love it on myself in person, but in that video I think it looks so pretty. I also 2 years ago filmed a tutorial with this lip color and I really enjoyed it. I don't love this formula, but the color is very pretty and unique to my collection, so I will be holding on to this for now. Then I do have 2 liquid lipsticks that I was gifted from my friend Sierra. The first is from Girlactik. It is their matte lip paint in the shade Demure, which is a really pretty rosy terracotta kind of a shade. This is a really nice formula. I did like the way that this looked on me. It's not my most favorite lip color ever, but I did enjoy it, so I will be keeping this for now. She also gifted me this Ofra liquid lipstick, but there is not a sticker with the shade name on this, so I have no idea what it is. So let me know if you guys have any idea. This is very pretty as well, and I do have one other Ofra liquid lipstick and I do enjoy their formula, so I try to ask her if she knows. I think she probably got this in a subscription box. So I'll have to ask her if she has any idea what the name of this shade is. Ofra has so many colors that it might be hard to figure it out, but let me know if you guys have any idea. But again, I do enjoy this shade, so I'll be keeping all 3 of these lip products for now. Then I do have 3 products that I will be decluttering. I have 1 eye product. This is the Milani Shadow Eyes Pencil in Cafe au Lait. You guys know I love my Milani shadow sticks, but I do not use this matte brown color anymore. I originally was using this in my crease. I do not put cream shadows in my crease because it makes it way too intense. It can't blend out nicely. So this is just a product I'm going to be passing on because I don't use it anymore, and I don't do dark brown smoky eyes where I would really need this for a base. Then I do have 2 lip products I'm decluttering. The first is a ColourPop Lippie stick. This is in the shade Cookie. It is a matte finish. It is a light peachy nude. I just don't love the way this one looks on my skin tone. It really depends on the makeup look, but I don't need this one, so I am going to be passing this on to a friend. The last item is also from my friend Sierra. This is a liquid lipstick from the brand The Beauty Crop. I think she probably got this in a subscription box. It's in the shade Date Night. This is a decent form. So this is in the shade Date Night. This is more of an orangey terracotta liquid lip color. I do like terracottas, but this one is a little too orangey for me, and this was also pretty uncomfortable and drying, so I will be decluttering this product as well. Hey guys, I'm jumping in to show you a couple things that I am going to be decluttering before I film my next update. The first item is a lipstick. This is the ColourPop Cream Luxe lipstick in the shade Tiptoe. I did film an entire review video on these. I'll have linked in the cards. This nude looks so amazing on other people, but I just did not love it on my skin tone, and I'm not obsessed with this formula. It is just a basic cream finish for me, and I don't see myself really reaching for the shade or the formula, so I am going to pass this on to my friend Ami to see if she likes this product more than I do. Then I have 2 highlighters that I'm not 100% sure if I'm going to get rid of them. Basically, I am going to have my sister try them, and if she wants them, she can keep them. If not, I'll take them back. I had previously given her some little mini Becca Shimmering Skin Perfectors, but she travels a lot for work and they have broken, I'm gonna repress them for her, but you guys know that Becca highlighters are very, very fragile. So I thought these two highlighters might be better for her just to have more options, but mainly for when she's traveling. And they're not travel size, they're just durable. So I have more of a warm tone and a cool tone option. The warm tone highlighter is the Pur Afterglow powder. This is a very beautiful, light, warm champagne highlight, and my sister is a little bit more tan than I am, but I'm a fair complexion. I would say she's a light complexion, but I think this would be very beautiful on her. It would have a really nice glow, but nothing too over the top, so it'd be great for her to use on an everyday work purpose. So that's her more warm tone option. And then for the more cool tone option, I have the Wet n Wild Mega Glow highlighter in the shade Blossom Glow. I know people really, really love these, but I don't know why I'm not in love with this formula, and the color is rather pink. It doesn't necessarily look super pink on my skin, but I don't know, for some reason I'm not in love with this, and I would be totally okay letting it go because I do have a couple more pinky tone highlighters that aren't so pink like this one. But on a daily basis, my sister wears a really mauvey tone look from the BH Cosmetics Carly Bible palette, so I think this would go nicely with that. Hey guys, so I am popping in to show you some products that I will be decluttering. First is the Maybelline Baby Lips Crayon in the shade of Blush Burst. I think they've gotten rid of these. I don't think that they did that well, and this is a beautiful pinky peach shade. These do give about a medium opacity, a really beautiful glossy finish, but they don't last the longest on the lips. The reason that I'm letting go of this one is that the color, even though it's beautiful, is not flattering on my lips. It emphasizes all of the lines and looks a little gloopy, and that just sucks because I love those kind of colors, but I find that they do usually have a pretty difficult formula, and this one just wasn't my favorite. And the other item I will be passing on is the Buxom Plumpline lip liner in the shade Hush Hush, which is a really pretty warm nude shade. So this is like an oversized lip liner. It is a wooden pencil. It was creamy for a lip liner, but when you're thinking of it in comparison to other jumbo lip pencils, it was pretty drying. I like the shade, but I wasn't in love with how it felt to my lips. And I have other similar colors, so I decided I didn't need to keep this one. I'll be passing it on, and this was a mini size that I will be passing on to a friend. And then unfortunately, I have a ton of stuff I'm having to get rid of because they're old or they've gone bad. So the first thing is the Hard Candy Glamoflague Mix and Drops Turn Me Matte. I did film an entire review video on these. I'll have them linked in the cards. This is a good product. Ugh, it is so completely dried out, just gluey stuck to the sides, completely dried out. It's so globby, but the thing is, it was like this from the beginning. This is a good product, but this is terrible, terrible packaging. So I can use this as a primer or mixed in with foundations to make them a little bit more matte, but the consistency of this is so thick, it does not suck up into the dropper. This is a product that needs to be in a squeeze tube. So because of the packaging flaw, I wasn't able to use this. So that will be going in the trash. And then I had some backups of some eyeshadow primers, and I went to open this one. This is the Pure Get a Grip Endurance eyeshadow primer. I had gotten this gifted to me from Pure a little while ago, and this completely dried out. It is so thick and goopy, and it smells absolutely disgusting. I'm really bummed I wasn't able to test out this formula before I had to throw it out, so that is definitely a huge bummer there. If you guys have tried this, I would love to know your thoughts. Then I do have 4 Maybelline color tattoos I'm getting rid of just because they are very dry. I have tried to revive them, and they're still just a little too thick, and they aren't products I really reach for. So this is the Maybelline color tattoo from the Leather collection in the shade Creamy Beige, a really beautiful shade. And again, this was back in the day when I used matte cream bases in my crease, and I just don't do that anymore. And then there were 3 shades that came out in a little limited edition holiday collection. This one is the color Matte Brown, which is a really nice dark cool matte brown, but again, I just don't use cream bases in my crease. And then we had these 2 that were dupes for MAC paint pots. So this is Maybelline Just Beige, which was supposed to be a dupe for Soft Ochre from MAC, and it is similar color wise. but the MAC ones are just so much more creamy, and these are a little thick and a little bit more dry, and they feel heavier on the lid. The formula just isn't as nice as the MAC ones. And then this is the shade Nude Pink that's supposed to be a dupe for Painterly. Again, a similar shade, but it doesn't work as well as the MAC, so those are older in my collection, so I will be throwing those out. Then I do have 3 pigments that I was testing, and I have to say that these looked amazing on the eyes. I just applied them with a little glitter glue. They were very intense, very metallic, and I know some people say that pigments don't go bad. I have had these since I started my channel back in 2011, and that just feels very old, so I will be throwing these out even though they looked beautiful. So these first 2 are from BFTE Cosmetics. I bought these based off recommendation from Lauren Is Okay, who was one of the very first people I watched on YouTube, who unfortunately doesn't make videos anymore. But this was the shade Spice, and this was the shade Autumn. And this is from The Body Needs, which is a website where I used to buy MAC eyeshadow pigment samples, but they made their own as well. This was a stunning caramel copper color in Dame Divine. And then we have a ton of lip products that have expired, which again, who's surprised? Certainly not me. And this is very disappointing. We've got some ColourPop in here like we always do, but then I've got some high-end products, and that is what's really sad to me. So all of these products went bad and started smelling a bit like glue, which is how I know they've expired. So I have got 2 ColourPop glosses. This is their ultra glossy lip formula, the cream finishes, which I love because they do have a nice amount of shine. They're very plush, and they do have about a medium opacity. I love these glosses. The old ones with the regular doe foot applicator, their new high shine version of these glosses have a brush applicator, which, like, why? Nobody likes that. But this is the shade Aquarius. It is a beautiful mauve pink. I absolutely love this, and I'm tempted to repurchase it because the color and the formula is amazing, but it just expires way too quickly. And the other one was Ipsy VIP, which was just a limited edition color, and I didn't love that shade anyway, but I'm very, very disappointed by this. But I'm also afraid to repurchase Aquarius because is it still going to have the doe foot applicator, or is this one going to have a brush tip applicator as well? So I need to figure that out before I would consider it. You guys know how I'm just sort of letting go of ColourPop lip products except for their lip liners because they just expire too quickly, and I'm just done with it. And then I have the Ultra Satin Lip in Aquarius, which is the more peachy nude version. Blech. Smells disgusting, and this is one of my perfect nudes. I love this color, I love this formula, but I won't repurchase. And then I have the Ultra Matte Lip in Clueless, which is one of my all-time favorite shades, but this is very, very old, so I am going to be throwing this out, and I'm not going to repurchase it because I don't love the Ultra Matte formula, but I do love that shade. Then I've got some high-end lip products. So these are my Kat Von D liquid lipsticks that have gone bad. This is Bow and Arrow, which is a very ugly color on me anyway. It's this really weird, like, cool tone, slightly green tan color. Then we have Julia, which is pretty new considerably. I got this from my friend Jean, I think last year, and this one smells off. This was a little weird on my skin tone as well. And then we have Lovesick, which is a beautiful purpley pink. I wore this on my wedding day. I would love to repurchase a little mini of this just for that reason, and I love the shade, but that's so annoying. This is a nice formula. It does dry down completely. It is a little too drying on my lips, but I can make it work because I love some of her shades, but I probably won't repurchase those. This is a shade Sellout, which is like a peachy terracotta nude, and then we have Queen Bee, which is a really pretty mauve color. I did get a little mini of this in a Sephora Play, so I'm really happy I have that as a replacement, but these stank too, and these are, I think, 2 years old, so that's just really a bummer for me, and I need to slow down on buying the lip products since they just go bad so quickly and I cannot use them up quick enough. So those are all the things that have gone bad. So next I have some products that I returned. So in my last update I told you I hadn't returned anything, and I actually did and totally forgot about it, so I'll be talking about those things in this video as well. The first thing was the Violet Voss Flamingo palette. I did film an entire review video on that as well, which I will have linked up in the cards. There were a couple shadows that I was absolutely in love with, but the other ones were just a little too sheer for my liking. I felt like I really had to build them up, which is something that I really do not like to do. I just have like a certain level of building that I feel comfortable with, and those just required way too much, and I'm very fair, so I don't usually have to build up a ton to get product to show up on me. So if I was able to get that palette for half off, I would probably buy it again, because there were about half the shades that I was obsessed with, and then the other half were very, very disappointing with the way that they performed, especially the matte shades. The shimmers were pretty good, but if you want more information, you can check out that video. Then I had returned one of the Lime Crime plushies in the shade Lavender Honey, a really pretty purpley pink color. So this is more of like a lip tint, and it was very pretty. I knew it wasn't going to be a fully opaque product, but it was very patchy, which I didn't like. I don't mind if it's more sheer as long as it's consistent in pigmentation, and it just wasn't. And it also did feel a little drying on my lips, which I didn't love, but it did have a really nice blue raspberry scent that I liked. So unfortunately I did decide to return that just because I wasn't in love with the way that it looked or that it felt on my lips, but the color was very pretty. Then I had returned the Dose of Colors liquid lipstick in the shade Play It Cool, which is more of a taupey shade, and on the model it looked so cool, and I was hoping it would look so cool on me, but I just could not pull it off. I thought it looked just very, very ugly, really like charcoal gray on me, and I couldn't make it work. I also returned the Dose of Colors lip gloss in the shade Just My Type. It was a very pretty basic pink color, but the formula of the gloss was a little thick, a little sticky, and I felt like it was separating a bit on the inside of my lips, and I could see it, and that is something that really, really bothers me about lip gloss. So because I didn't see it as something I was going to reach for a ton or get the most use out of, I decided to go ahead and return it. It wasn't terrible, but I just wasn't in love with it. I did also return the Huda Beauty Emerald Obsessions palette. I think that the shimmers were pretty nice, but the mattes were very, very sheer, lacking in pigmentation, and while they were all shades of green, they were just pretty random. Some of my favorite colors were the olive shades, and I have a ton of different olive eyeshadows in my collection, so I didn't need to keep it for that one. And I really did contemplate keeping it or returning it, but most of the shades in that palette I didn't enjoy, so I did end up returning that one. I also returned the Makeup Revolution Emily Edit the Once palette. I did film an entire in-depth review video on this as well that I will link for you guys. I love Emily so much, it hurt me to not like something that she made, but for me, again, this was another product where it required a bit of building with the shimmer shades. I think all of the warm neutrals performed amazing, but the rest of them took a lot of work, and I just wasn't in love with it. I knew I was not going to reach for that palette for the warm tone shades that I love, because I have a ton of those in my collection, and the other colors just didn't perform well enough that I would want to reach for that palette to create a specific look. So because I knew I wasn't going to use it after my review, I did end up returning it. I also returned the Tarte Matte Shape Tape Foundation. I did film an entire review video on this one as well, which I will have linked for you guys, and I wasn't sure if people had talked about this product negatively just because of the controversy with the shade selection, or if they really thought the formula sucked. So that's why I wanted to try it, and for me the formula did suck. I didn't think that it kept me matte. It didn't give me the most full coverage. The shade match was nice, but that was really the only thing I loved about this foundation. It wasn't terrible, but it also wasn't great. And again, I have other foundations that I prefer, so I figured I would just get my money back on that one. So those are all of the products that I have returned within the past 4 months. That is all for makeup, and now I am going to be getting into the nail polish portion. I actually tested out all of these polishes like a month ago, and I filmed that clip, and I've already passed them on to friends, and I've kept some of them, so I will insert that clip now. So we have the nail polishes. I will start by showing you the 3 that I'm keeping. The first one I'm keeping is the Revlon Parfumery polish in the shade Winter Mint. I don't think they make this line anymore. The bottles look very, very luxe for Revlon, and this is really similar to
a Deborah Lippman polish called Mermaid's Dream, I believe. I know Orly has one called Mermaid Tail. I get the names confused, but I think this is supposed to be like Deborah Lippman's Mermaid Dream. This is a really pretty minty polish with some large blue sparkly bits, which look really, really pretty on the nail. This is a really cool color that I haven't seen done a bunch of times, and it was a really great affordable dupe. So even though this isn't one I've reached for a ton, it is a good formula and a pretty shade, so I will hold on to it. Next, I have one from Essie that I definitely thought I was going to get rid of, but I really liked it when I just tested it out. And this is Essie Naughty Nautical. It's a beautiful teal polish, but it has some shimmer in it. Now, the shimmer is pretty fine, so you can definitely see it on the nail, but it doesn't in any way look like a glitter polish or even a glitter top coat. So for that reason, I like it, because I usually do not like shimmer polish. You need to be like holographic foiled, a full-on glitter, or a full-on cream. But I really enjoy the way this looks, and it was really nice and opaque, so we'll see about that one, as well as this one from Essie, which is First Timer. It's a really pretty green. I don't know how to describe this. It's not a grass green, not a lime green. It's a very wearable light to medium green, and this was also a really nice formula. So again, we'll see what I think about those. I can definitely see myself letting go of them in the future, but for now, I do enjoy them. And then for the other 5 polishes I'm letting go of, I already have homes for them, which is why I'm filming it now, because I will be passing them on to my friends. So I have 2 polishes from Butter London. The first is Jack the Lad, which is a really beautiful deep green with some like navy and what looks like lighter green or gold glitter pieces in it, and this does have a pretty strong base. That one does look really pretty. I just don't tend to go for really dark polishes. The other one I have is Butter London Artful Dodger. I thought I was really gonna love this one. It's a really beautiful, really dusty blue shade, but I just wasn't in love with it, and I do have things a little bit similar, more on the green side, but I like those better, so I am getting rid of that one. Then I have 3 OPIs. This first one is OPI You Are So Out of Lime. I don't have any lime green polishes, and I was really excited to try this one, but I just didn't love the way it looked on my hands. It's a little too neon, and this does dry down to more of a satin matte finish, but of course I would put a clear top coat over it. But it performed pretty well, but I just didn't love the way that color looked on my nails. The next one is OPI Green on the Runway, which I think was from the Muppets collection maybe. This is a really, really pretty color. It looks like a green oil slick. Good formula, pretty shade, but I knew I just wouldn't get the proper use out of that one. And then I also have OPI Thanks a Win Million, and this is a really dusty light sage green color. I have a lot of shades very similar to this that I prefer, so that's why I'm letting this one go. So I feel pretty good about the amount I kept versus the amount that I got rid of.
So guys, that was my update for my chopping block Will I Declutter series. As I said, I will be having a finale at the very end of December, so you guys will be seeing that soon, and I am going to do this series again next year. I'm not quite sure what products I'll pull from my collection, but I'm sure I'll find some things, and this is something I really enjoy, and it makes it so much easier for me to let go of products when I specifically tested them out to know whether I like them or not. So I would love to know what products you guys have decluttered or returned recently, or things that you've had to throw out because they've gone bad. I would love to know your thoughts on the products I mentioned here today as well. Thank you so much for watching this video. Please like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye guys.